In today's edition of the Red Sox Rundown, we have mega rumors. We're going to talk about all of the latest rumors because a lot of reports came out today surrounding the Red Sox, trade rumors, free agency rumors, all of the above. We're going to talk about them in today's video. But before we do that, we did it, folks. We got to 6,800 subscribers, and you know what that means. 6,900 is the next goal. We're 100 away. You know I want to get there. I know you want to get there. So hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Daily Red Sox news, rumors, videos, shorts, all of the above right here on the Red Sox Rundown. On today's edition of the Red Sox Rundown, I am your host, Jack Lauderay. We have the latest on Trevor Story's potential opt-out. Are the Red Sox really in on Kyle Tucker? More reports around that and massive Red Sox trade rumors. We're going to talk about all of these today, but let's start with Trevor Story. This is one of the decisions that has yet to be made that could have a big ramifications on what the Red Sox end up doing this offseason. Alex Bregman's already opted out of his deal, and now we got to know whether or not Story is going to stay or if he's going to go. Well, Chris Cotillo put out an article earlier today talking about the infield as a whole and what he expects the 2026 infield to look like, but he did have this note on Trevor Story, which I thought was very telling. He said, as of mid-September, Red Sox decision makers expected Story, who has 2 years and $55 million left on his contract, to opt in. There's a chance he'd make more than that on the open market, but there's also a feeling that he feels loyalty and appreciation towards the Red Sox after missing most of the first 3 years of his deal. This makes a lot of sense. Now, I don't want to be that guy, but I said this a week or so ago that I do kind of feel like Trevor Story feels like he kind of owes the Red Sox. Now, he doesn't owe them anything. Let me be clear on that. He could completely opt out if he wanted to and go get a bigger deal. But I do think, and like this report from Cotillo says, like, I do think he does kind of feel at least a little bit bad that like the first 3 years of his deal, this huge deal that he signed with the Red Sox, he was like hurt the entire time. And so the fact that he only had his first fully healthy year this past year and he performed well, it does kind of seem like he wants to stay. And talking about this past year, like I just mentioned, a healthy Story is a good story. And, 741 OPS, 25 home runs, which led the team, 96 RBIs, a 104 OPS plus. Like, that is a solid season from your shortstop who you were expecting big things. And he showed up in the postseason as well. Make him one of the leaders of this team. We have no idea whether or not Alex Bregman is going to be back. I lean on the side that he will be back, but you never know what will happen with a Scott Boras client in the middle of a bidding war in the middle of December/January. So make Trevor Story one of the leaders of the team. He already kind of is, but like make him the leader of the team. He does the Story camp every offseason with the young guys. He's been very vocal. He always talks to the press after losses. Like, he can be that guy. So make him that guy. Alex Cora also loves him as well. So I think he opts in. I think you make him the leader of this team, and I think he has the next 2 years as a member of the Red Sox. Will Trevor Story opt out? Will he opt out of his deal? Will he opt out of his deal? O, if you think he'll opt out. I, if you think he'll opt in. I'm typing my I think he'll opt in, but you let me know down below in the comments, what do you think Story's going to do with his contract? The next story we're talking about is Kyle Tucker. Did a full video on him the other day. Jon Heyman once again has linked the Red Sox to Kyle Tucker in free agency. Here is what he had to say. He said, I think any big market team could go for Tucker. I see the Giants, the Red Sox, potentially the Mets for Tucker, but the Dodgers make a lot of sense to me. Now, we had a full video a few days ago breaking down Kyle Tucker, the initial report that linked Tucker to the Red Sox. I talk about the goods, I talk about the bads, I talk about all of it. So if you have not already, go watch that video. It's a full, 15 minutes on Kyle Tucker to the Red Sox. You don't need me to tell you that Kyle Tucker's a really good baseball player. And, maybe a bit of a down year in Chicago this past year, but the 2 years before that, he was, incredible. 179 OPS plus in 2024. I still cannot wrap my head around the fact that he had 49 RBIs in 2024 with 23 home runs and a 179 OPS plus. That just doesn't make sense to me. I know there was also some injuries in there as well, but we know Tucker is really, really good. However, I don't know if it would be the best idea to go after Kyle Tucker this offseason. Like I said, I had a full video breaking all of this down. I gave all of my reasons why I thought Kyle Tucker to the Red Sox would not be the best idea. And here they are right here. These were the reasons why I thought it wouldn't work. I'm not going to go as in depth. Like I said, I already did a video, so go watch that video. But the price tag is really high. I think you could allocate that money elsewhere. We already have an incredibly crowded outfield. I named 8 potential players that could be in the outfield next year, and they have a DH problem because people say, Jack, just slide him in at DH. What are you going to do with Masataka Yoshida? What are you going to do with the platooning outfield? What are you going to do with all these other guys? There's a lot here that makes him just not a fit. So I think he will continue to be linked to the Red Sox all offseason long. I mean, that report by Heyman was like, yeah, any of the big market teams could do that. And the Red Sox just happened to be mentioned. But look, am I going to be mad if the Red Sox sign Kyle Tucker? Absolutely not. Kyle Tucker's really good. If you can get him, get him. But like, if it's between that and like allocating the money toward like a starting pitcher in like, a Pete Alonso or someone like that, I'd rather go that route than signing $400 million to an outfielder, a left-handed outfielder. You've already got a bunch of those. So, like, I don't think it's the best idea, but I'm not going to be mad if they sign him at the end of the deal. Will the Red Sox sign Kyle Tucker? Make the call for me. S for sign if you think they do. P for pass if you think they do not. I'm going to say P for pass. I don't think they do. And that's not just me saying I don't want them to. Like, I don't think they will. I don't think he's on the top of their radar. I think that trading for a pitcher, signing a pitcher, bringing in another power bat from the right-hand side of the plate, specifically like a first baseman or a DH, makes more sense. I think that's what they're looking for. Kyle Tucker, best free agent in this class. So they'll obviously be on him. But I don't know if like they're going to go full steam ahead like they will some of these other players. All right, to round things out, mega rumors. Mega rumors. Jim Bowden of The Athletic released an article. He highlighted the 10 stars most likely to be traded. Now, most likely seems a little rich to me because number 1 was Tarik Skubal, and I still don't think that is 100% that likely. But, and cover your eyes, Jarren Duran fans, Bowden had Jarren Duran ranked number 4 on this list. Number 4. I believe it was Tarik Skubal, it was Hunter Greene, I think it was Mackenzie Gore, and then I think it was Jarren Duran at number 4. Here's what Jim Bowden had to say. He said, I'm not sure I understand why the Red Sox keep listening to offers for Duran outside of the fact that they envision their future outfield as Wilyer Abreu in right, Cedon in center, and Roman in left. Why not keep Duran for DH? Or better yet, why not let all 4 outfielders rotate between the outfield and DH? Regardless, Duran's name keeps coming up in trade rumors, and now it sounds like the Red Sox will move on from him this winter. Hey, Jim. Red Sox fan here, covered the team all season. I'll let you in on some of your concerns. Number 1, the Red Sox absolutely envision their outfield as Abreu, Cedon, Roman. So you're right on that. Like, that is, and I think will be, the outfield of next year. Like, I would be shocked if it was anything different. Now, hell, something could happen and they trade away Wilyer. Like, that could happen. I'm not saying it won't. But I think the most obvious way forward is those 3 in the outfield. Hey, Jim, got another one for you. The Red Sox have a huge DH problem. Unless they are willing to offload Masataka Yoshida's contract, then you got too many cooks in the kitchen. You've also got the prospect of Christian Campbell. I doubt Marcelo Meyer is going to get like every day in the field because of his injury concerns. Like Alex Bregman needs some days off his feet. Like, you cannot just like be rotating those 4 outfielders just between DH and the outfield because other people need those reps too. The Red Sox have a huge DH problem, and I think Duran would hurt that more than help it. Honestly, I don't like where they're at with DH, and having so many cooks in the kitchen is a problem. That takes me to my third point for Jim. I actually agree with him on the prospect of rotating outfielders. They did it this year, and it seemed to work. And then when, Roman got hurt, Willier got hurt, they still had depth. But going into this season, I talked about it in the Kyle Tucker video a few days ago. You could name 8 different viable outfield options on the Major League roster. Duran's one of those options. Too many mouths to feed. Too many mouths to feed. I truly believe, and this breaks my heart, I got a Jarren Duran City Connect jersey. I love the guy. I got to meet him when I was in Boston in the summer. My mom loves him. He's her favorite player. But I do believe, I'm being realistic here. I'm not letting my fandom shroud what I think the truth is. I do think he will be traded this offseason. I do. Okay, so if he is traded, what does it look like? Jim Bowden continued. He said teams such as the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Tigers, the Guardians, and the Rangers would love to land him. He's also controllable through the 2028 season. So it would take a huge haul for the Red Sox to move him. Okay, that's great. Here's some Jarren Duran trade destinations. The Phillies, the Dodgers, the Tigers, the Guardians, the Rangers. Huge haul? I'd love whatever that huge haul is. Give me the prospects. Give me the Major League talent so we can go flip it and get a starting pitcher. If you can trade Jarren Duran as part of a Joe Ryan deal or a Hunter Greene deal or a Mackenzie Gore deal, you do that 10 times out of 10. Okay? Now, obviously, Tarik Skubal? I would do that 10 times out of 10. These are all contenders. All teams that could use a high-flying outfielder. If they make you an offer you cannot refuse, you take the damn offer. So I love Duran. I do. I love him with all my heart. One of my favorite players. I think his story is incredibly inspirational. All the stuff he had to go through with his mental health and how he overcame that. That's all inspirational stuff. Awesome. Love Jarren Duran. The Sox are going to trade an outfielder this offseason. They are. It's going to happen. We got to wrap our heads around that. They got to offload an outfielder. And of the four, Duran makes the most sense, in my opinion. So he's going to be in a lot of trade rumors, guys. Buckle up. Buckle up. It's going to happen. He's going to be in a lot of trade rumors this offseason. And if I had to predict it now, I would predict he's on a different team in 2026. Also, teeny tiny Tarik Skubal. The Red Sox are linked to some starters as well. Tarik Skubal, Freddy Peralta, Hunter Greene, Mackenzie Gore, Sandy Alcantara. There they are. Look at producer Alper. Okay, that got me flustered. I'm sorry. They were linked in this article. There was 5 starters. The Red Sox were linked by name to all 5 of them. Tarik Skubal, Freddy Peralta, Hunter Greene, Mackenzie Gore, Sandy Alcantara. Freddy Peralta, by the way, I would love to get Freddy Peralta in this rotation. He's one of my favorite pitchers in the entire league. I'm not going to go in depth on all of these. This is just something for you guys to see. If you want me to go in depth, let me know. Do you want me to go in depth into this trade article? They linked the Red Sox to 5 starting pitchers. If you want me to go in depth on all 5 of them, what Jim Bowden had to say about them, where I think they fit on the Red Sox roster. If you want me to do that video, I think that's a video we could do next week. Type Y for yes if you want it. Type N for no if you do not. Let me know down below in the comments. That's where we're going to end it, folks. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. By the way, programming alert. Tomorrow night, I will be live for World Series Game 1 on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. Do not miss out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll also be live for Game 2 on Saturday. I'll be live for Game 3 on Monday. I'll be live for Game 4 on Tuesday. I'll be live for Game 5 on Wednesday if necessary. I'm going to be live for every single game on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. So come over there, hang out, have a good time. I'll be there. Mitchell Renz of the Raiders Report might be there. We'll see. Join us. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, go Sox.